Welcome to the Conscious Leader podcast with me, Robert Solano. In this show, we are going to provide coaching insight for growth and transformation. In each episode, we're going to share a dramatization powered by artificial intelligence where we dive into the powerful coaching conversations with purpose-driven leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers. We'll explore the pivotal moments in their lives, gain insights and lessons learned that shape their lives, all while tapping into the universal wisdom of heart-centered leadership strategies. Now, today, I'm excited to share a profound conversation with a client who we call Anita, who is a 50-year-old entrepreneur who spent the past 2 decades building her thriving personal injury law firm. Anita is not only a successful attorney, but also a passionate advocate for environmental sustainability and health. And in our coaching session, Anita bravely shares her story of standing at a crossroads, grappling with the decision to sell her law firm and embark on a new chapter of life. Through Anita's story, we witness the power of aligning with our true, authentic selves, listening to the stirrings of our soul, and finding the courage to let go of what no longer serves us to create space for new possibilities to emerge. So without further ado, please join me for this wonderful conversation with Anita. Anita, it is so wonderful to see you today. What's on your mind?
I am at a crossroads in my business. I received an offer to sell my law firm. It would pay me out a few $1,000,000 over the next few years. I am unsure how to evaluate this decision. I've spent 20 years building up this team, and I think I still could work another decade, but honestly, I'm not sure if I want to. It's hard being the CEO. I've been working so hard for 2 decades, and the idea of selling it, walking away, and traveling the world with my family sounds amazing. But I also know that if I work a few more years, I could get the business to be even more profitable and raise my quality of life even more than it is now. Can you guide me on how to proceed?
Anita, this is a profound decision point in your life, and it's wonderful that you're taking the time to really reflect on what path forward is right for you. Let me ask you this. What first made you start your own law firm 20 years ago? What was the deeper purpose or mission that drove you?
When I first started out, I was driven by a passion to help people who had been wronged or injured to get the justice and compensation they deserved. I wanted to level the playing field between the little guy and the big insurance companies. Over time, as the firm grew, I became energized by the challenge of building a great team and a profitable business. But if I'm being honest, some of that original fire to fight for justice has dimmed amidst the day-to-day stresses of running the firm.
It's actually really common for entrepreneurs to lose touch with their original purpose as their business grows and evolve. The key is to reconnect with that purpose, but view it through the lens of who you are and where you are now in your journey. So, how do you feel your purpose has evolved over these past 20 years?
I've realized that beyond just helping individuals, I have the ability to influence positive change on a bigger scale. With the success of my firm, I now have a platform and resources to advocate for causes I believe in, like environmental sustainability. I'm in a position to be a real change maker. At the same time, the money from a sale could allow me to have an impact through philanthropy and investing in important causes.
That's really valuable insight. And it seems your purpose has grown from helping individuals to driving meaningful change in the world. As you think about the potential sale of your law firm, yeah, I encourage you to see it not as an ending, but as a transition into a new chapter of living your purpose. So, what do you feel is the highest and best use of your time and talent in this next chapter?
Wow, I hadn't quite framed it that way before. I think my highest use could be mentoring the next generation of purpose driven entrepreneurs and leaders, sharing my knowledge and experience, and using my resources to support and scale promising solutions to the big challenges we face as a society. Things like climate change, inequality, health, and wellness.
Those are incredibly inspiring visions of your next chapter. Can you articulate what may be holding you back from fully embracing this new direction? Is there any part of you that feels fear, limitation, or unworthiness around making this transition?
I think I fear walking away from the identity I've built as a successful law firm owner. My ego is wrapped up in that to some degree. And frankly, it's a bit scary to let go of something I've poured my heart and soul into building for so long. There's a feeling of safety and security in continuing with the familiar path.
And that's a very normal feeling, and I honor your courage in acknowledging it. In my experience, our deepest growth and fulfillment lies on the other side of our fears and limiting identities and beliefs. What I'm hearing is a potential identity shift from a successful lawyer and entrepreneur to a transformational leader and philanthropist. How does that land for you?
Thinking about it that way is exciting and energizing, but also overwhelming. I'm not sure I know how to be that version of myself yet. How do I ensure I'm successful in making that kind of major transition?
The key is to root into your inner knowing and take aligned action from that place rather than letting fear dictate your path. I'd encourage you to start envisioning your life and the impact you could have as this expanded version of yourself. Spend time in meditation, connecting with that feeling, and really embodying your highest purpose in this new way. Now, I don't know what your meditation practice is. Maybe we could dive further into that in the future. But during pivotal moments like this, you really need to take the time, whether that's 15 minutes a day or maybe take a weekend or a week just to get away from the business, the family, and just spend time with yourself, reflecting on your journey up until this point and where you want that journey to continue to go in the future.
That's a great suggestion. I can sense that there is a deeper wisdom within me that knows selling the firm is the right move. It's like my soul is calling me to play an even bigger game. I think I need to trust that wise inner voice rather than let my head and ego fears interfere.
Beautifully said, Anita. Our soul's voice will never let us astray. We build that trust through continuously taking courage and purposeful action. What is one small step you could take in the next week to begin aligning with that and experiencing yourself in this new expanded identity?
I could reach out to a few entrepreneurs or nonprofit leaders who inspire me and invite them for coffee to learn more about their work and explore how I could support them. That would be a manageable way to start activating this new direction.
I love that action step. It will build momentum and open up unforeseen possibilities. Now, as you move forward, always remember that your worth is not defined by your business or your possessions. You are an infinite spiritual being experiencing the human journey of growth. If you trust your path and know that new beginnings are simply a continuation of your soul's evolution, I think that will give you comfort through this time.
Thank you, Robert. This perspective shift is exactly what I needed. I feel empowered and inspired to consciously step into this next chapter of my journey. While I may not have it all figured out, I have faith that as long as I keep taking purposeful action, the way will be shown. I'm excited to see what unfolds.
You are most welcome. And remember, life is simply a continuous unfolding of our highest self. Meet each new beginning with presence, patience, and an open heart, knowing that you're always right where you're meant to be. I have no doubt that you will thrive in this new chapter. And please keep me posted on your progress.
I definitely will. I so appreciate you holding space for this important reflection today. It's given me renewed energy and clarity to move forward confidently. I'm grateful to have you as a guide on this journey of personal and spiritual growth.
Anita, it's my absolute honor and joy to support brilliant souls like you in this reconnecting with your inner wisdom and boldly offering your greatest gifts to the world. Stay true to your essence, trust the journey, and know that you have everything you need within you. And I am cheering for you every step of the way. The conversation with Anita today was a powerful reminder of the inner journey that we all must take as we navigate life's biggest decisions. On the surface, Anita was grappling with whether or not to sell her law firm, but as we peeled back the layers, it became clear that this was about so much more than a business transaction. It was a pivotal moment in Anita's spiritual evolution. You see, our careers and external accomplishments are simply vehicles for the growth of the soul. The ego clings to status, money, and identity, but our higher self knows that these are all temporary and ultimately empty if not aligned with our true purpose. Anita's indecision about selling her law firm was a symptom of her ego battling against the wisdom of her soul. Now, as I shared with Anita, we are all divine spiritual beings having a human experience. Our soul chose this particular life with all its challenges and opportunities to learn, grow, and fulfill our unique purpose. When we are at a crossroads, it's an invitation to go within, quiet the mind, and listen to the voice of our soul. This takes a great amount of courage and trust because the soul's path often looks very different than the ego's agenda. In Anita's case, her soul was calling her to let go of an old identity that no longer served her highest good. Starting and growing a successful law firm was an incredible achievement, but that chapter was complete. Her work there was done. Now it's time for her to step into the next expanded version of herself beyond the limitations of the ego's attachments. And and this is a journey that we're all on. To see beyond the illusion of separateness and scarcity and unworthiness and recognize our true nature is infinite loving awareness. Every ending is a new beginning, every death is a rebirth, and by choosing to let go and trusting in the unfolding of the higher plan, Anita was taking a quantum leap in her spiritual journey. This does not mean the transition would be easy, and frequently it is quite the opposite. And that's because the ego doesn't just surrender without a fight. But this is where a spiritual practice becomes essential. We must meditate to cultivate that inner stillness. We need to pray to connect with the higher guidance and have faith to keep walking forward even when the path is uncertain. With time, Anita will look back and see that selling her law firm was not a loss, but a sacred initiation into the next chapter of her soul's journey. My advice to anyone facing a similar crossroads is this: turn within and ask yourself, what is it that your soul desires? Not what your parents or spouse or coworkers or society or your own ego expects of you, but what is your deepest, highest self calling you toward? The answer may surprise you, but you have to honor that voice even if it scares you. Trust that your soul is always guiding you to the greatest good, and know that you are so much more than your job, your money, or earthly accomplishments. You are a spiritual, eternal being deserving of all the love, joy, and abundance in this universe. Release your grip on the old and open your arms wide to the new. This is the path of true fulfillment. Above all, for Anita and for anyone else facing major life transitions, please know this. You are always being divinely led. Every experience is unfolding perfectly for your highest good and learning. Trust your journey, embrace the uncertainty, and allow yourself to grieve what you are releasing and celebrate what you are becoming. You are right where you need to be to step into your fullest light. As the poet Rumi wrote, what you are seeking is seeking you. Your soul's purpose is always calling you forward, but listening to and honoring that call by listening to and honoring that call, you are fulfilling your sacred contract in this lifetime. And that is the greatest success that any of us could ever ask for. So, to Anita or anyone else facing a leap into the unknown, I say jump in and trust that the universe will catch you. Your best self is yet to come. Thank you, everybody. If you found this podcast or show useful, please consider subscribing, leave a review, post on social media, drop me a comment, whatever. Your support helps spread these transformative conversations so that other leaders can grow and thrive. If you are feeling called to explore the power of coaching even further or need assistance navigating your own growth and transformation, please reach out. I'd be honored to support you in your journey. And until next time, keep shining the light and trust in the unfolding process. And this is your host, Robert Solano, signing off from the Conscious Leader Podcast. See you soon.